comfort for JP, by the way, in case you all forgot. So
That's right.
let's see how they set the tempo later on.
Let's see how they play with comfort here in the Land of Dawn for game number 3 of Falcons and TL.
Comfort is out of the question. You gotta do what you gotta do to get into the game, and Falcons have yet to score. Welcome to game number 3. One win away from match point. The cavalry sits. My name is Leo, here with Ingan and Brigida. You heard her dulcet tones during the draft. Ingan, how do you feel about this? Were you also looking for that Lancelot?
I was looking, of course, for the Lancelot of Carl Tizzy, but again, if Suyo is a better pick for them, then why not? And I do agree actually with Renmar in terms of their picks in the draft. Team Falcons sort of reactive, and this could also translate in their gameplay, especially if TLPH is on the driver's seat.
A lot of pressure here on the Filipino sniper down bottom. JP covering his behind. Brigida, Suyo came out here for Carl TZ instead of the Lancelot. I'm going to drill down on that. How do you feel about it going into the Farsa?
It's the first time we're seeing Carl TZ on the Suyo again after quite some time, and honestly, it feels like one of the more comfortable picks for Carl TZ, especially considering the hero pool that he's been showing us recently. But I'm a bit concerned about how he's gonna position himself well enough in front of a Baksha and a Glue. So if you're asking about the Farsa and his capabilities to reach this hero, then they'll probably have to rely on someone else, and then just him following up with the damage.
I hate how it's not even reaching the Farsa that's the problem. It's going through the possible bodyguards. Here he is, looking for a target in Marco. Understands that it's not quite the best target to go for just yet. The backup hasn't followed through. First turtle spawning in the upper quarter, and it looks like Falcons is there first.
Yeah, you know, prior to the matchup of Onyx, their last series, Suyo has a really bad record in the playoffs. So let's see if, alongside King Kong, Carl TZ can turn the tides for this hero.
All right, turtle started up by JP and Carl TZ. Ogwin checking range. JP going man-to-man defense. 1/4, 1/5.
Let's see if Kyle TZ will be able to reach it, as Carl will still secure the turtle. But there's the clapback from Falcons, gonna bring down Carl TZ. They went in even as Kyle TZ goes in with a weak shadow kill to bring down JP.
Yep, great decision from Team Falcons. They decided to go in for the fight, and knowing that there can be additional damage from Super Marco since the SOD did connect, they willingly took that fight, despite everything that we've mentioned regarding the draft, despite the timings. So this is a clear advantage that Team Falcons has already acquired.
Big win for the Big Birds. Get more with BPI. 1250 diamonds on the line in case you register, you join Vibe. That's a chance to take home some goodies in case you haven't gotten the skins just yet. Ogwin checking range. That's a feathered airstrike by few. And again, these are the ugly problems that TLPH have to face. It's going through these frontliners.
You know, similar to what Team Falcons pulled off in game number 2, especially towards the early to the mid game, is the pressure on the mid lane. Again, they don't want Sanji to be as comfortable as possible to eventually scale up with the Zushin, because eventually if Zushin left unchecked, it could spell disaster for Team Falcons.
Yeah, and Ogwen's doing a great job in checking everyone though.
Oh, Spear of Destruction also connects onto Carl TZ as they bring him down. Next target might be JP here. Kyle TZ racking up a lot of kills so far early game.
That's double dead. Carl TZ, even if he could have gotten away, had 2 major cores on him.
Yeah, it's the beauty of the early game burst damage too that we're seeing so far from Team Falcons. Team Liquid Philippines, it feels like they have to build up on that damage, and now they have to chase after what Team Falcons has already established in terms of the lead. This is a Hayabusa on a 3-0, 4 minutes into the game, so you know that they're just gonna be very confident in terms of taking the fights.
You're worried about Kyle. I'm worried about Super Marco. He's making mucho dinero. He's been left down bottom, and he can join fights anytime.
Sanford goes in with a beautiful combo there to stun out Few. Few is going to fall down, feeds a kill off to Sanji, but Flap TZ enters the picture as well. Carl TZ got dropped there by Kyle TZ. Wiki Shadow Kill still continuing on. JP caught in the crossfire there as they're trying to save it in SOD! Super Marco lacks the damage, but that was more than enough pressure to apply onto TLPH.
Odd placement by Marco here, forcing Sanji to go ahead, flicker forward, catches him with a choke.
Oh, Super Marco getting choked down, was able to dash out, but Lantern Flare caught him as Kyle TZ gets the turtle.
In exchange for the turtle and potentially the purple buff, they're still gonna go for it, but JP saves it long enough. We saw the Sansan duo in action earlier, going for that pickoff, But what they failed to take into account were the other members of Team Liquid Philippines left behind. Things aren't looking too good for Carl TZ now on a 0-3.
We did mention how difficult it might be for a Suyo to do much in this game, but I didn't expect him to go 0-3, 5 minutes in. Looking at the items, the sheer definition of chop suey. Carl TZ struggling.
Yeah.
Yes. There's so much that has to be done for them to come back in this game, especially with how FlapTZ is just able to make his presence be felt.
Kyle TZ again enters and catches Oheb. It wasn't enough for TLPH to share the damage, immediately got bursted down.
How would you respond to that? It came from out of nowhere. It didn't look like a real fight was going to break out. They just really wanted Oheb.
And it feels like they've completely shut down whatever threat this pick-off-centric lineup, or at least in the early game, could deliver. JP is struggling to find the targets, and who can he rely on for the damage if they're this much behind?
I'll do you one better. 6 minutes elapsed, not a single ejector that led to a good play.
Yeah, not even a defensive one, you might say. You've been saying this all season 14. Oh, wait a minute. Sanford spots out Kyle TZ, even goes in once again. The fist bump was there to stun out Kyle TZ and brought enough space for Oheb to take down the turret down bottom.
Okay.
Wait, there's one?
Here's the ejector, but is that the right target? Ogwin quite tanky. Now Kyle TZ jumps in once again, paired up with FlapTZ. They're able to burst down the MVP again. 0-2-0 start for Oheb, and now FlapTZ latches on to Sanji. Beautiful combo there from Sanford, but Kyle TZ though one more hit away, and he's gonna get taken down. Super Marco SOD! Sanji was able to escape, but not for long as Super Marco dishing out the damage. JP falls.
It's gone sideways for the Cavalry as Falcons continue to bear down on him. Super Marco never misses. What is that, 100% on the SOD right now?
Man, if you're gonna count yesterday's series, that's still 100% from Super Marco with his Moskov 3-1-2 start.
Yep, Team Liquid Philippines, they're clearly struggling in terms of how they're able to layer their skills, in terms of how they're able to carry out a sequence that's favorable for them. Whether it be on Sanford trying to anticipate Kyle TZ earlier in that lower bush, they were unsuccessful in doing so, and now here's another team fight.
Here's a spread from FlapTZ. Kyle TZ jumps in. But wait a minute, is he gonna enter again? SOD is gonna connect the first man down here. Still no one as JP falls down. Carl TZ might be next, one more hit away. But TLPH trying to counteract as he brings down Ogwin. Sanji enters the picture for the Crimson Beacon and Lantern Flare. But Super Marco with a Spear of Misery to track him down. Kyle TZ enters the picture again. Sanji got caught in Crossfire. FlapTZ might be able to bring him down, and 2 members down for Liquid.
And they're still going. 40. Got Flap on him. Can they continue?
Oh, FlapTZ still holding on to Sanford, and now he latches off, and the clash will end here.
To think that we saw probably one of the cleanest games from Team Liquid Philippines earlier. Now it feels like Falcons, it wasn't too reactive of them after all.
Oh, JP with the unstoppable force on to Kyle. Ogwin to the rescue.
Now Ogwin with a stun. Sanford with a beautiful combo. Is the damage there though? Uigi Shadow Kill was casted right on time to help Super Marco with an SOD. And now he's giving out the damage onto JP. JP has to back off. Oheb desperately trying to dish out the Death Sonatas, but the damage is still not there for TLPH.
And still Marco never misses. Maybe we should start calling him the Philip. What were you gonna say? In season 14, I kept saying.
You kept saying that you don't want the Jawhead to be, at the ending or had a bad start because it's going to be hard for them.
Or to be on the defense.
On the defense,
and
yeah.
that's exactly where Liquid is, despite it being just 8,000 gold lead. Bring it up. Can Liquid come back from this? What's that angle looking like?
It's gonna be hard since you have to pay attention to so many heroes of Team Falcons right now. Kyle TZ, Few, and Super Marco, they're all online. And it's very unlikely that we'll see at least one of them separated long enough that Team Liquid Philippines could take advantage of that. They're just too fast in terms of the responses. And just when we thought it was just pure reactions being forced out of Team Falcons, it wasn't after all.
And not to mention, you have 2 tanky frontliners also for the side of Team Falcons who have yet to die. Here comes the ejector play that can turn the tides around, but Team Falcons still being able to dish out the damage. Again, Kyle TZ jumps in, and Super Marco as well with an SOD, gonna bring down Sanji. 3 fallen, make it 4. Super Marco wants to chase after Sanford in a double for Super Mak.
4 down. Not a single clap back from Liquid. Ballooning up to 5,000 gold plus a Lord. Falcons are here.
And I'm not so sure about that call. Taking on FLCN, knowing fully well that the other members of Team Falcons are just within the area and that they won't have enough burst damage just yet. Close call for Oheb as well. But that's aside the fact that Super Marco also came in. Few was just free to throw out the feathered airstrike, and now Team Liquid Philippines are clearly on the defense.
Right now, you don't want TLPH to be on the defense. So far, they're having a hard time initiating anything against Team Falcons. Even Team Falcons jumps in once again. Wiki shadow kill from the back, paired up with the feathered airstrike from Few. All the while, Super Marco just working on the turret, delivering the damage, gonna bring down JP. One member down. Owen still quite tanky as TLPH takes care of the Lord.
You see the damage coming from Super Marco. And now that we're about to look at his items, this pretty much explains why he's almost 2k ahead of Oheb.
Another jump in from FLCN. Sanford got caught there. SOD casted right on time as Team Falcons focuses on the top lane.
Whether it be from lane to lane, whether it be across the map or literally point blank right in front of you, Marco never misses the SOD. And they're continuing to apply pressure. Top lane up next, Shadow Kill!
Oh my goodness! Kyle Teasy went after Sanji once again. 2 members down for TLPH. TLPH's Team Falcons also gets the inhibitor up top.
The bloodthirsty Blade just does not let up. They're approaching 10k!
Yeah, it's already an 8.1k gold lead. And Few just got his hands on that Divine Glaive. So imagine if they get away.
Oh, a throw onto Super Marco. They catch him, but a quick response from Team Falcons. Super Marco stays alive. The bulletproof still here. Kyle Teasy delivers the winged shadow kill to bring down JP. Sanford is gone as well. FLCN working on Oheb, and they take down Carl Teasy. A double for Marco.
He missed, but he never misses. A forward flicker to take down the young goat. Look, folks, he did not rock Purify. He survived that engagement with a flicker.
And he had the wind of nature too. So he was able to survive the damage from TLPH.
There's the engage. Kyle Teasy again jumps in with the shadow as they take down Inhibitor in the middle lane. But TLPH fortunately will be able to clear out the minions.
A bare base, an open field for the Stallions to think about what went wrong. Ingan, you said, at this point in the game, Liquid does not want to be on the back foot. They don't want to be in the defense. I'll tell you now, at minute 1, they didn't want that. The game started. As soon as they began the draft, they did not want that. As soon as they locked in that jawhead.
It's hard. I mean, you saw JP, all his ejectors are defensive, are reactive, and in the rare cases that he wants to be proactive, it's FLCN or Ogwen that he manages to throw.
Conceal play already committed by Team Liquid Philippines, but there's an answer from Team Falcons.
Here comes Ogwen with Shield Unity, keeping TLPH at bay because there's a major objective up for grabs. Lord is up.
Now that they've already used up the conceal, they'll have to find other ways to go around this, but it's gonna be very difficult, especially for Carl Teasy. He's still pretty much behind, although they already might want to take this on.
Ogwen from the back, and they latch on to JP, a mega kill. Coming in from FLCN, 1 member down. Team Falcons, do they go for the extra engage? Few chasing after the members of TLPH. Cast a feathered airstrike. Marco with the SOD again as Kyle Teasy gets the Lord, but he shut him down. Is this enough time for TLPH? Because their base, there are minions for Team Falcons, and TLPH will clear it out.
A slight miscalculation by Falcons. They thought they could go, but another chance at ending the game here. Oh, Sanford and Kyle Teasy. Kyle Teasy single-handedly pushing them out. Liquid lives another day.
Yeah, but JP's so heavily punished in this game. He can barely look for a setup for Team Liquid. There's almost no one within reach that he could toss towards the members of Team Liquid Philippines. Fortunately, they're able to buy enough time. We're already approaching 15 minutes. So Oheb definitely, probably at least is lacking just one more item.
The trade onto Super Marco bought enough time for Team Liquid Philippines to take care of the Lord in the middle lane without any pressure for the side of Team Falcons. But it was all part of the plan of Team Falcons to go for a sacrificial play, secure the Lord. But fortunately for the Cavalry, they were able to get not just one, but two bodies of Team Falcons.
And a majority of that is held in weight by Marco. You take out Marco, you have half the problem solved. In comes Ogwin. KyleTzy coming in, shadow kill!
Also, Wiki shadow kill to be able to keep TLPH at bay, but the clear of TLPH is just too much. Oheb being able to dish out the damage, and you can clearly see TLPH slowly scaling up.
What was that? KyleTzy, we've seen him do this multiple times in this game, but that was the first time we saw it lead to really nothing.
I mean, they were prepared. Again, the threat of an ejector, and at the same time, Sanford being able to have his flicker and the combo from the Badang can turn the tides for them. For sure, Ogwin knows that because he's been doing that with the Badang.
Yeah, but this is going to be tricky, though. Team Falcons, Flap and Ogwin have already picked up their immortalities 15 minutes into this game. So they were already winning pretty much most of the fights that were taking place. But now they can afford to go a little more aggressive since they already have those items within their builds. But they also have to consider that, yes, Team Liquid Philippines, they are gradually scaling, and there will be definitely some opportunities for them, considering that the lead is slowly shrinking, now down to 5K in favor of Team Falcons.
Falcons is still in control, that much we know. The map is blue, Liquid, the amount of space that they can play with, very limited. I'm wondering, who is building anti-heal? Where is it right now? Because Flap, #1 on top of the charts in damage taken, and he's died a record 0 times. I think they have to deal with him first, and then maybe we can talk. Maybe we can find a comeback angle.
Yeah, but it does seem like Sanji's the one who tries to go for either Few or Super Marco. He puts himself out there. He actually tries to disrupt so much of the backlines, and that's a huge responsibility if you're Sanji. You want to do so many things at once, being the Jushin of this lineup.
So much weight on the shoulders of the lone stallion. Sometimes it always comes down to him to do the job. In game 2, he did just that, took down Marco alone, but now he needs help. Oheb and KyleTzy, not a single Sea Halberd between them.
Yeah, and that help could start from JP or either Sanford. One good setup on the proper targets. Could spell disaster for Team Falcons, but this could be a potential play for the Cavalry. We saw in game #2, Sanji was able to solo kill Super Marco. That set the tone for the game. Could they do it here again?
All right. 3 members of Liquid moving up. The concealed by JP. They walk into him!
Few goes in with a feathered airstrike, and they burst down Sanford immediately. KyleTzy quite low here. He has to back off. They set their eyes onto JP. He still has his immortality as TLPH has to back off.
Was that an ambush or an unfortunate encounter?
It was something similar to what happened with Sanji and Marco in game #1. He just waited for the Curse of Crow and bursted everyone right in front of him. And Team Liquid Philippines definitely had to go back because they had to take into account Super Marco and the potential split. So with an exposed base, this is going to be a difficult defense.
That's painful. Now Liquid knows how it feels for them to walk into a random bush and get blasted.
They did it in game #2, and now Team Falcons again with the clapback. Lord is on their side, 5K gold lead. TLPH has 5 members to defend, but is this gonna be enough for the Cavalry?
All right, Lord marching up. Amazing synchronization by Falcons. 3 waves coming through, and the fight breaks out.
There's the ultimate Wiki Shadow kill and feathered airstrike. JP was able to throw out Ogwin, but there's the Revitalize coming in from the Master. FlapTzy latches onto Sanford. Super Marco jumps in and locks on the base. And Team Falcons finally a win.
In the clash of titans, you can't expect a sweep. Not like this. Falcons on the board, 2-1.
They've learned